Welcome to the Spooktacular, MrMovies.
Truly, it is the most wonderful time of the year.
I can't think of a better time.
Well, on that note, Frank, I can think of nothing scarier than learning that you have more movies than me. So, how many things
Well,
do
I
you
kind
have?
of just have I feel like this episode's different where I feel like we could just dive into it and we don't really have to worry about
Oh, wow. That is spooky. We're breaking the norms. In
we're
that
gonna
case,
break.
go for it.
You know what? Because it's coming to HBO Max this week, I got to talk about a little movie I saw last month, I think.
Let's do it.
The movie Barbarian.
Oh, I've heard good things about this.
Oh my God. This movie starts and you're like, okay, this is like the typical Hollywood, like horror movie. I'm down for it. I am down for it. And then, and then the movie takes a turn. And then you're like, what the, how, before you can process what's happening, it cuts to like just a completely different setting, like almost like a completely different movie.
Oh,
And then the two movies just freaking meet. And I cannot spoil anything about this movie. All I have to say is you need to watch it. Like everyone needs to watch this movie. I believe October 22 days from when we're recording. By the time you're listening to this, it's on HBO.
wow.
Watch it. It's
I mean,
called Barbarian.
I've seen trailers for it, right? I've seen that.
Don't
like,
watch any trailers if you haven't. Yes, but
Really? Well, so I'm just not supposed to think of anything while going into this?
I mean, like you know nothing from the trailers. You know nothing
Okay.
about this movie.
Wow. Well, I'll watch it. I mean,
It's phenomenal. I
seem
think it's
very
going
into
to be in my top 10 of this year. Like
Oh my
it's
God.
so good.
How bad is it gonna spook me?
Um,
I
it's
have a
not
humming,
gonna,
I have a hummingbird heart. The doctors say I can't
it's not going to scare you as much as you're going to be like, what is happening? Like
Okay, I
it's
got you.
you're just gonna want to remember when we watched Tusk.
Yes, I remember Tusk.
It's kind of like Tusk.
Oh, Tusk was, oh, all right, I'll try it. And despite of the Tusk comparison,
I thought you liked Tusk.
Tusk fucked me up. That one was so weird.
I feel like we have to talk about Tusk now. I love Tusk is actually on my list. So
Yeah. Have you ever seen a walrus and thought, "Hey, I wish I could like be one of those"? Nope.
Essentially, I'm gonna spoil the movie Tusk.
I just did. Go for it.
Essentially, it's a man who has like a sexual fetish with walruses. So he kidnaps a man, and well, he's murdered many people in the past, and he makes a giant walrus human meat suit, and then he kidnaps Justin Long, and he performs surgery and makes him one with the walrus meat suit. And then he puts himself in another walrus meat suit, and they fight like walruses.
That's the movie. If you want to have a time.
And I made Duncan watch this.
You sure did.
It's one of my favorites. I watch it every Halloween.
Oh my Christ. I'm still mad at you for that movie. Tusk is so. Anyway,
it's a Kevin Smith movie. I idolize the man. It's a good time.
Well, that's enough of that, if you don't mind. One of the things I watched that I want your opinion on, I watched the new Hellraiser movie. Now, Hellraiser is apparently a very old franchise, apparently very beloved, well known. The concept is
it or is it just apparently?
Wow. I have no idea what the old one is like. And apparently it's a direct like sequel. There's like characters in this one that were in the old one. I missed that. I don't deal well with like scary movies. This is actually a very interesting podcast for me. The whole time I was just like, I don't like these demons. I don't like them. But I had a good time with them.
Fair.
I had a good time with the movie.
I am glad. Okay. I guess we're just kind of naturally falling into the natural like way. How many movies do you have? I got 8 more.
I got 5 more.
Moving on. Okay, we all know I love the man, the myth, the legend, and I could do a whole podcast just breaking down his filmography, and maybe we'll do it. Maybe we will. This is an idea. We'll split his filmography in half.
Ooh.
Watch each, like split it up, and then we converge. M. Night Shyamalan. It was his birthday, I believe, a month and a half ago, and there's this channel on TV. Every year on his birthday, they just play all his movies.
Oh, that's kind of sweet.
I make a tradition to watch it. It's not titled this, but I call it the M. Night Shyamathon.
Oh my God.
I love it. And this year they played The Village, and I rewatched The Village for the first time in a few years.
Yeah. Can I admit something?
I freaking love The Village.
I have wanted to watch this for forever, and I've never gotten around to it.
I hate period piece movies. Freaking hate them. Sure. I can't stand them. I can't watch them. I never make it through them. I'm always bored. Call me a man who likes explosions and superhero finale. Guilty. Okay. I like the serious movies. Okay, I do. Period pieces, sometimes I just can't do. You know, I said I liked Belfast, so I don't feel like I need to defend myself on this. But period pieces, not my go-to movie. The Village slaps. It goes so hard. It is so like just on the edge of your seat. And I think the twist is fantastic. A lot of people hate the twist. They say it's garbo. I completely disagree. I think the twist in The Village is sensational. I love it. And I think it just implies something scarier than what the movie has. Like,
I think you're right.
Well, do you know that? Don't say it, but do you know the twist even though you haven't seen the movie?
I do know the twist.
Okay. I love the twist. I think it's really well executed.
Honestly, I kind of think knowing about the twist, this one specifically, would make the rest of the movie more interesting. Like instead of that second rewatch value thing.
Well, I think I remember the first time I watched The Village and I didn't know the twist, and I was still like into it. And then I watched and then the twist happened, and I kind of liked it because it was kind of like you get to watch the movie again for the first time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love The Village.
That one is a strong recommendation that you've given me, and I wish I've acted on it sooner. I
love The Village. Now I'm going to talk about a classic.
Please do. My hoodie keeps like slipping over my eyes. I keep trying to like, this is my Halloween costume, by the way.
I'm going to talk about the Halloween franchise.
Oh, the whole franchise.
The whole franchise.
All right.
I haven't seen most of them.
Okay.
But
well, this is the Mikey Myers one, right?
Michael Myers. I'm just going to recommend 3 of them.
All right.
The first one, the OG.
Sure.
Can't go wrong. Michael Myers is a madman. I just, you know, Mikey Mike's gonna do what Mikey Mike's gonna do, and Jamie Lee Curtis is just gonna have to deal with it.
That could be the name of the franchise, honestly.
The original Halloween is a classic. It slaps. John Carpenter's music. Oh my gosh, you can't beat it. The new Firestarter that came out, I talked about this. Not a good movie. The score, John Carpenter did the score, and it slapped so hard. I listened to it in my car ride, and it makes me want to light people on fire on the California highway. I don't know if I can say that, but here we are.
Hell of an admission.
Listen, when you have an hour and a half commute every day, thoughts go through the brain.
You already wanted to set things on fire. I'm sure this thing only made it a little bit stronger.
Amen, brother.
So that's the
Halloween,
one
I recommend. Halloween 2. I think Halloween 2, it takes place in a hospital. It is so underrated. I love this movie. It's just Michael Myers going rampage in a hospital. And like, there's so many just like random scenes that don't make sense. But if you just go with it, you'll have a good time. There's like a scene where a nurse and a doctor are like hitting on each other. And then randomly in this hospital, there's just a hot tub. And so the man doctor goes in there, and then of course the female doctor goes in there, and she takes off her hospital gown, and she's like naked, and you're like, what am I watching? And then Michael Myers comes in while they're making out, and he just kills the woman.
Of
And
course.
that's the kind of movie we're dealing with. And I don't know why I watched this my junior year on Halloween night all by myself, because that was the kind of life I was living. And it just stuck with me. And then the final Halloween movie in the Halloween franchise I got to recommend is Halloween 2018. I think this is like the perfect reboot sequel.
I remember watching that with you, and it slapped.
I love that movie, and to me, like the follow-ups just have not gotten like to that level. I still don't mind. I don't know, that the new Halloween franchise is kind of weird because that first one kind of sets it up where like, yeah, Laurie Strode's going to be a big part of this, but we're kind of passing the torch on to the granddaughter. Right. And then like, the sequels are like, you know what, screw the granddaughter, it's just all about Laurie Strode. Yeah. And it's I find I enjoyed parts of Halloween Kills. Halloween Ends I enjoyed a little less parts of, but I still enjoyed it. I don't know, I like this franchise. It's goofy and it's silly, but it's good old-fashioned Halloween fun.
Yeah, I think I've only ever seen the first one and the reboot, so I also am missing a huge chunk of the franchise, but it just seems like a very simple
I'm trying to seek out Halloween 3 because it got really bad reviews when it came out, but it has like a cult following now and people like it.
Right.
And it has nothing to do with Michael Myers. It's about like these, all I know is like there's masks being sold to children and it like blows their brains up. And then there's like this annoying song that's like 3 more days till Halloween, 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 3 more days till Halloween. And that's all I know about the movie, but I kind of want to check it out.
Happy, happy Halloween, 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 happy, happy Halloween, silver shamrock.
What a hell of a recommendation you've given our audience. Oh my, that song, I would, oh, wow. All right, well, I have another thing to talk about that I know you have opinions on, and that is the brand new Michael Flanagan TV show, The Midnight Club.
Speaking of Mikey Mikes, let's just jump right into it. Philly D style. Did you like that reference? Did you get it? You're a YouTuber, so you have to laugh.
Why was that so accusatory? Just like, are you mad at me? What the hell? Are we okay?
Aye.
Anyway, this show is really, really good.
I love The Midnight Club. Oh gosh, I have to look up the actress's name because she was in Midnight Mass, and first of all, I have to talk about Midnight Mass real quick. If you haven't watched Midnight Mass, it's the greatest thing Netflix has ever produced. I'm 100% dead serious saying that, like I stand by that. Yeah. I am actually since it's spooky season, this came out last October. Mm-hmm. 2 days ago I started rewatching it. It's like my 5th time watching it. I adore it. I think it's so well done.
It's truly so good.
Oh, but Mikey Mike was like, you got to get one of these seasons every year. And
well, let's talk about that. So okay, the Midnight Club, for those unaware, the idea is it is a bunch of children at not a rehab, but what would you call it? Like
hospice.
Like hospice.
It's terminally ill kids, and it's basically like a big support group. They can live with each other and kind of like go
throughout their days. And they have a tradition where they tell each other scary stories, right, in order to
every night at midnight.
Right. Yeah. And additionally, there's like a different spooky thing happening in the real life, but that's the plot. You'll watch it and you'll get it. But
the stories are really a big part of the plot. And what I like about it is that's really how you learn about each individual character, is through the story they tell. Mm-hmm. So it's not random.
Right.
But every story is filmed so differently that the show kind of feels, what I love about it and what I think makes it feel so unique is it feels like an anthology series, but there is this one big through line going through it.
Right, because you kind of know that the characters are not like a permanent mainstay, right? That's in hospice.
Yeah.
You know they're going to like
Who
leave.
was your favorite character?
Oh my god, the actress Ruth Codd. What is her?
Yes, Anya.
Holy shit!
She made me cry. I will say she made me cry.
Well, because right, she's so like snappy and snarky the whole show that when like it starts getting emotional, you're like you can't.
I feel like
Oh.
you felt for each of these kids too, like this real like anchor, and like you kind of like, yeah, they're
Right.
gonna die. Like, and
Mhm.
you just kind of have to like go through like watching that, and it's so depressing.
You feel the loss, don't you? Like
Yeah.
somehow.
My favorite character, and I mentioned the actress before, was in Midnight Mass, was
Mhm.
Sandra, played by Anara Simone.
Mhm.
Oh man, she had my favorite. I just loved. So she's very like, her character in the show was very like religious and looking like God must be doing this for a reason. There has to be a reason. And I'm like, giving her this role after Midnight Mass is messed up, but she plays it so well.
Right.
I just fell in love with her character, and I liked where her story ended. And I'm not sure if they're going to have her back for the next season.
That's
I hope
true.
they
Yeah.
do. But there's so many characters. Like, I literally love every character in the show.
They each have like such a special role.
Yeah, and that's rare. Like, it's like what, 10 kids?
Right.
And like, oh, that one.
Usually I hate kids.
The one character when the show started, I thought there was this one character I thought, oh, I'm not gonna like, just gonna be annoying. Her name is the one who makes up stuff about herself. She lies a lot.
I'm blanking on the name, but I know.
There's a character, you know who I'm talking about. There's a character, and she basically like, the whole shtick with her is like, nobody knows when she's telling the truth.
Right, she's untrustworthy.
She's larger than life, and she just makes stuff up for attention. She has a scene with the main character. Oh my, it's such a simple scene. It's so simple. I started crying. I'm like, Mike Flanagan just wants to emotionally destroy me every Halloween season, and I'm here for it.
My God. So it is confirmed that he's going to make one like every October?
I don't know. I mean, like around Halloween season, he usually has something released with Netflix. Because it was Hill House, Bly Manor, Midnight Mass, and now this. Right. So,
because I do want to say the one issue I had with this show is I watched it, and then I was like, all right, next episode, and then there wasn't any.
Yeah, so I'm hoping it gets greenlit for season 2. So Mike Flanagan, I just want to talk about this.
Yeah,
has had the short end of the stick for his last 2 shows. The Squid Game was released last year, and then a week later, Midnight Mass came out, so it got it completely swept.
Of course.
And then this year, the Dahmer show was released, and it was like Netflix's like second biggest show of all time. And then the week after, The Midnight Club was released, so no one watched it. And if this show does not get a season 2, I'm gonna be furious.
There's no conclusion.
Answer.
There's no conclusion. It's like I was really waiting for some kind of like bookend, but
yeah, this is the first of his shows that I think
it's actually like
intended that there's going to be more seasons. I know his next show that's coming out is another like limited series. It's The Fall of the House of Usher, and that looks like it's going to be insane. Mark Hamill's in it. I'm so, that might be my most anticipated thing of next year.
Like, well, I mean, I don't blame you. This guy's
Mike
good.
Flanagan just is doing everything right. He doesn't miss. I've seen everything now. As of this month, I've seen all of his stuff. And it's so good, guys.
You're a fan again.
If you have not watched The Midnight Club, you need to watch it, because if you don't, me and Duncan are going to go mentally insane if we don't get closure.
I mean, that's a very real threat. I am going to be very mad if I don't find out some kind of like ending.
I'm a 20-minute drive from Netflix, so all I'm saying is that they need to renew it.
Oh my
I
god.
am in your reach, Netflix. I am in your reach.
Okay,
That's
now
what's-
we're entering real threats, so we have to be careful. Well, let's take a tonal shift. I want to talk about Werewolf by Midnight.
Oh boy, for context, I started this at 12:30 at night, watched 15 minutes and said, I don't know what's happening. I gotta try to watch this again, and I have not.
Okay. Ooh, that's going to affect what I say about this. This is the kind of thing where our favorite company, Marvel, they are pretty
That's a funny way of pronouncing DC Comics.
they're pretty pigeonholed right now because everything they make is very similar. And this was the first thing they have done that is very stylistically and like just conceptually different. It is a
I feel like Marvel, like with Phase 4,
Mhm.
it's either been directing wise, it's very stylistic and the story is very bland, or the story is very good and the directing is very bland.
That's true. They haven't been able
And
to.
sometimes both are just very bland.
Yes. Yeah, I would say that's very accurate.
What are we going with now? What's the
Well, I'm hoping this will let me see, but still invoke kind of like a ooh.
no, it's not invoking that. I'll tell you that.
What is it invoking?
It's not good. I don't know.
Very well. Werewolf by Midnight is a short film made by Marvel, 45 or something minutes. It doesn't connect into some larger story. It's just like, surprise, there's this whole like monster thing happening. And it's filmed in black and white. It's got a lot of the styles of like older, like old ass like
Like
Halloween.
the old Universal movies I've heard, that's what it's.
And there's a lot of murder in this
Yeah.
that is actually a little freaky to think about. You did not get there if you were like 15 minutes
I
in.
did not know.
But there are some deaths in this thing that are conceptually very scary to think about.
Okay. You make me want to watch this now.
The concept is there's a bunch of monster hunters and they're like, oh, if you want this precious family heirloom, you have to kill a monster. Which, you know, conceptually it's not the most out there thing.
This isn't gonna I'm not gonna watch this, love it, and then in like the last 5 minutes, Peter Parker swings out and is like, "Oh, geez, guys, we gotta web them up."
Mr. Stark, there's a bunch of monsters in this field. Yeah, no.
Tony Stark created all these monsters, and now it's my responsibility to take care of them. It's
Yeah, this is
wrestling in time.
yeah, that would be kind
Marvel,
of what you
please
expect.
hire me, please. I love your content.
No, this one is actually different from that, and I really enjoy what it stood for. And you know
I'm
what?
excited.
I
You know,
hope they
everyone
do
talks
more
of this
short films.
superhero fatigue, and like I understand the reason for the fatigue, and
Yeah.
I've told myself I have it. I don't. I
Yeah.
really don't. You know.
Well, this
I'm
one's
watching
interesting.
Peacemaker right now. I saw Black Adam this weekend. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. You know.
Yeah.
I'm the problem. It's okay.
This one is interesting because I would argue there are no superheroes in it.
I like that. I want to watch it too because the guy from Old is in it.
The guy from Old?
Yeah, the main guy in the M. Night Shyamalan movie Old is in this.
The Beach That Makes You Old?
Yes, that's a great movie, by the way.
Which guy?
I had to limit myself to one Shyamalan, but Old is good as hell. I'm sorry.
I do want to see it.
I really love it. People say it's like people don't understand what M. Night Shyamalan is going for. He's trying to make B movies on a big budget.
Uh-huh.
Like, the man, people's perception of that man pisses me off. But
You're a purist. You're an M. Night purist.
I am. We're gonna make the M. Night Shyamalan episode, and it's gonna be spectacular.
We have to, I suppose.
I think the actor's name is Gail Garcia, but that just might. I don't know if that's the actor's name or the character he plays in Old. I think that's the actor's name.
Okay. The Werewolf by Midnight. Or maybe I forgot you haven't seen it. Ooh,
Is the main guy a werewolf?
I don't know.
Well,
I haven't.
I
Your
like the
turn.
Zack Snyder movie Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead. Holy shoot!
No, this isn't the original Dawn of the Dead. This is the Snyder cut of Dawn of the Dead, if you will. Have you seen Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead?
Yes, I have.
This movie is punk rock in your face, and it does not give a shit. And also, Ty Burrell is in it, and Ty Burrell is just a lovely person who I feel like should
Yeah,
be.
but he
in
plays an asshole in this.
He does play an asshole in this.
That's weird.
Remember,
He's what-
Ty Burrell is technically in the MCU. He's in the Incredible Hulk movie.
Oh, he's the boyfriend. Yeah,
He's like a shitty boyfriend on screen for 5 minutes.
That's right. Wow, congrats to Tom.
I gotta close my shade. Excuse the horrific noise. What movie was I talking about?
Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead by Zack the Snack Snyder.
Oh,
I think Dawn of the Dead is just such a balls out fun time, and like the fact that it's his like first directorial debut is so impressive, and it's such a simple it's such a simple premise. There's a zombie apocalypse and these people are trapped in a mall, and there's some thematic tones about consumerism in America, and I love this. What are your thoughts on this movie? While you talk, can you go like this with your hand?
Oh yeah, sure. In terms of the zombie franchise of films overall, I think this one has earned its spot in the setup of the genre, but it does not hold against other zombie films.
I disagree. I'm still doing
I
the
know
hand
you do.
gesture. Can you say the lotion was too expensive, use the mayonnaise in a creepy voice?
The lotion was too expensive. You'll have to use the mayonnaise. Is that a quote from something? I don't know.
I don't know where that line came from in my head. I'm more concerned about that. I think you are crapping too hard on Dawn of the Dead. I think this movie is just so freaking good. I highly recommend it. I don't know, is it streaming on any streaming services? We got to look this up.
To me, I think, I don't
Dead.
know. The characters just weren't very likable. And I feel like in a
You got an
zombie
Amazon
movie-
Prime? Oh, it's on Peacock. So
Oh, lovely.
stream it on the cock. It's I think
Frank, you cannot say stream it on the cock. That's not an okay thing.
my goal is to make a movie and get it streaming on Peacock so I can tell people they can stream it on the cock.
Man, all right.
And then I'm gonna win a Kids' Choice Award.
It's a kids movie? Oh my God. Oh.
I love me some Dawn of the Dead.
Uh-huh.
Stream it on Peacock. And with that said, we are about to run out of time on the Zoom meeting, so I say we reconvene.
All right, let's have a brief little intermission. I'm
No.
going to go get spooked in private, but I'll see you soon.
Oh no. Oh yes. I approve. I approve. Cheers to that, old friend. The Shining. Have you seen it?
I have.
What'd you think?
It's all right.
You know, I'm of the camp that man was ready to hack his family before they even stepped foot into that damn hotel.
I don't feel like enough happened to him, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he was just ready to go for like fucking Danny's in the car. Oh, are we there yet? Are we there? I want to take an axe to that bastard. Anyway, Mike Flanagan made a sequel.
Oh my God.
We're getting violent. This is a spooktacular. Anyway, Mike Flanagan made a sequel to The Shining, and it did not do good. Nobody saw it in the theater.
It's because people are afraid
Drink
of
another
doctors.
carbonated beverage, and now I'm burpy.
That's really scary that you don't learn from your past mistakes.
I'm a creature of habit. Anyway, Doctor Sleep did not do good in theaters, but it is streaming on HBO Max. And my Lord, what are you doing? What are you
I'm
doing?
listening. Just keep talking.
Okay. I think everyone in America needs to watch Doctor Sleep because
What's it about?
it's about a young Danny Torrance.
Uh-huh.
No, it's not. So you're distracting me. What are you doing?
I'm listening.
I don't like this. What's happening?
I'm trying to give you attention when you talk about something.
I don't need
important.
that kind of attention. We talked about this
Fine,
off air,
fine.
Duncan. Jesus Christ.
This better.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Oh my Lord.
Talk about it.
Dr. Sleep follows Danny Torrance in his I actually really like this movie and was looking forward to talking about it. Now you're
Keep talking about it. I can't wait to hear about it.
I think Dr. Sleep, I'm not talking about it. I can't work in these conditions. Where'd he go?
Talk to me about Dr. Sleep.
No.
Tell me about Dr. Sleep, Frank. I do want to hear about this movie. I haven't seen it.
Dr. Sleep follows Danny Torrance in his adult years. You can't do this. This isn't Duncan. Duncan, the whole point of a podcast is that it's supposed to be audio. They can't see this.
Mm-hmm.
They're bored.
Well, that's why you need to talk about Dr. Sleep, Frank.
I'm not going to look at you. Dr. Sleep is a really good, so it follows Danny, so it follows Danny Torrance in his adult years, and we see him struggle with like alcoholism and all that. And there's another girl, and she also has the shining powers. And there's somebody going after the people who shine. And Danny is trying to protect this girl, and he becomes a better person through it. And I think this movie, I actually would say I enjoy it more than The Shining. I've watched it more than The Shining. I absolutely love Dr. Sleep. I think it's some of Mike Flanagan's best work. And if you haven't seen it, you really got to get on it. It is streaming on HBO to the max. And Duncan, I feel like I didn't even get to say what I wanted to say.
I feel like you said so much about this.
I hope you're proud.
What would I have to be
Ewan
proud
McGregor
of?
is a powerhouse.
Look at me. Do I look like I have a lot of pride? Where'd you go, Frank? Oh, he left. Oh, he's coming back. And now he's gone too. Frank, I could see you in the reflection of your movie posters.
Oh man, that was intense. I'm seeing the floaties now. Oh my gosh. Ooh, that's not good.
Don't scream that loud. Oh my God. I wanted to talk about Jordan Peele's Nope. I thought that was
that's not a horror movie. I'm sorry.
Kidding me?
I love the movie. I think it's great. It's not a horror movie.
I disagree. I think it's horrifying.
No.
I think it's actually very scary. More scary than Dawn of the Dead.
Listen here, Duncan.
Uh-huh.
All right. I've had it with your shit.
Oh, have you? Name one thing that I've been doing this episode that's irregular.
I think Nope is a great movie.
I agree.
It is not a horror movie.
Now, what makes you say that?
It's an action adventure.
What the hell? What's the adventure part?
They're trying to capture the UFO on video.
Yeah, and it like demolishes them. That's horrifying.
It's action adventure.
Are you kidding me?
Okay, if you'd rank Jordan Peele's movies based on the horror element, how would these three? How would you rank them?
On horror.
Are you at your house? This is a new background.
This is my house. Yeah. Way to dox me,
Apartment.
Frank.
Your apartment?
No, this is my house for my. Oh no, I doxed myself. I have to bleep
did.
that.
Do the FBI SWAT thing to him, everybody.
No.
It's how we celebrate episode 50.
I don't want the FBI to see me like this. They're gonna believe that whatever you tell them. Anyway, I would probably say Us is probably the horrorist, and then Get Out, and then this.
Okay, my point exactly.
But that's not saying this doesn't have horror.
No, I'm not saying it doesn't. It has horror elements, but I can't, at the end of the day, say it's a horror movie.
Wow. I guess we're different people. In that case, I just won't say anything. Just fuck me and my opinions, I guess.
I think we got to make the Spooktacular edition.
Yeah, if this is how manic we're gonna get every time, then yeah. All right, your turn, Frank. What do you want to spook me about?
I've already talked about this movie at large on this podcast, but I just got to go in and say, if you haven't seen Lake Mungo, what the hell is wrong with you?
I'm getting to it. I actually looked it up on Amazon, ready to purchase it, and I got spooked because of the description.
Dude, this is the gateway. I can't even say it's the gateway horror movie. Like, this movie does not have a single drop of blood or a jump scare.
Wow.
And to some people, that might be a buy for them. However, and I watch a lot of horror movies, this movie messed me up the most.
Really?
I thought the ending was just so intense, and it was just it shocked me to my core.
Did they get mungoed?
They got mungoed pretty dang good.
Oh, no.
I don't even know, is Lake Mungo streaming?
I think so. Last I checked, which was like 10 months ago.
Oh, you can watch it free if you get a Tubi account.
The hell is Tubi?
It's like one of those you watch.
To be or not to be, am I right?
To be or not to be. Anyway.
It's one of those offshore fucking accounts that's gonna steal your routing number.
Yeah, it'll give you some malware, but Lake Mungo is so good, who gives a shit?
You'll end up with stock in Coca-Cola somehow.
That's probably not a bad thing, but Lake Mungo, I think,
like spelled with a K. It's like an off-brand Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Lake Mungo is a masterpiece of filmmaking. I cannot recommend it enough. And if you haven't seen it, it's the perfect time of the year to watch it.
Well, I don't know if you can tell actually, but my parents aren't home. So maybe I should watch it after this podcast.
What is the angle here? Are you supposed to be a little kid? What?
Trick or treat.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Trick or treat, Frank. Do you have any candy?
How many movies do you have left?
I don't have any left.
How?
Trick or treat.
You messed up the whole
I don't
episode.
watch a whole lot of horror movies,
We're
Frank.
supposed to go back and forth, and you're supposed to say, "Oh, I only have 2, Frank. You better do 5."
Oh. I watched The Haunting of Hill House and Bly Manor in one sitting.
How emotionally destroyed were you after
I
that?
think I shit liquid for 36 hours after watching it because I was so clenched.
I sobbed at the end of Hill House. I think Hill House has one of the best endings.
More like Kill House.
That's true. Put those dogs away.
Look how flexible I am. I look like a mutant.
I watched the Sam Raimi movie, and I think this is his most underrated movie. Drag Me to Hell. You know what? Let me read you the tagline of this movie, because I think it summarizes perfectly what the film is all about.
Uh-huh.
Here's the tagline. Christine Brown has a good job, a great boyfriend, and a bright future. But in 3 days, she's going to hell. Even nice people can go to hell. That is the plot of this movie. It is about a woman who is cursed to go to hell, and she tries to undo it. This movie's hilarious. It once again stars Justin Long. This is the third Justin Long movie this episode we've talked about. It's like he's a staple to the horror genre. And he's just been cast in Disney Plus's Goosebumps series.
He just looks like a kid. I don't think that's.
Do you know he's 40 years old? I listened to the podcast he does with his brother on my ride to work. Had no idea he was 40. He just had that clip of him and Drew Barrymore that went viral. It was pretty wholesome. It made me feel good about myself. But Drag Me to Hell is hilarious. It's a fun, dark comedy. And I just recommend it. It's one of my favorite movies, and it's a Halloween must for me.
Fuck, there's nothing in here.
And finally,
oh, you have one left?
I got one.
Let's hear it, Frank. Take us home.
Do you know the director Scott Derrickson? Are you familiar with his work?
I know Dot Skerrickson, but not this guy.
Who? Who's the one you know?
Just go. Tell us.
Scott Derrickson. He directed the first Doctor Strange. I know that's all you watch, Duncan. He had a movie come out this year called The Black Phone. And you know what? I actually really want to talk about this movie, but given Duncan's...
No, you know what? I'll be real this time. Let's do it.
If you ruin this, I'm going to be so bummed.
I won't ruin this, man. Give me a chance.
I think The Black Phone. I can't do it. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a
No, you've earned this, Frank. Let's talk.
No, that's it. We're done.
No.
We're done.
I'm just going to record myself talking about The Black Phone. Then.
Sorry, Jesus. The Black Phone is a great movie that came out this summer, directed by Scott Derrickson. It's about a boy who's kidnapped by Ethan Hawke.
Yeah.
And I couldn't remember his name. Ethan Hawke is a powerhouse in this film. He's big. He's I don't even know. Beefy sounds like a weird word to use. But there's a scene where he's shirtless, and I was like, I'm very intimidated right now. He's just a beefy man, and he wears this mask, and he's ready to kick some. He will F a kid up in this movie. And like, this movie is not afraid to beat the shit out of kids. There's a scene where like a girl takes a rock and smacks some kid in the front of his head, and his head just starts leaking blood. And I was all for it. I think this movie's a powerhouse. It's great. It's one of the best that 2022 had to offer. I got to see it in a theater all by myself. It was the best theatrical experience I've had so far this year. I just think it's so good. I think everybody should watch The Black Phone. And Duncan, that's a Spooktacular.
He hits him with a rock?
Yeah, and he bleeds. If you enjoyed the Spooktacular, which I can't imagine how, because it really went off the rails during the scene. Ladies and gentlemen, I love you, and have a good night.
Bye, everyone. Take your meds.